Welcome to Crimewatch, a program brought to you by your police service, the Zimbabwe Republic Police, to create an enabling environment for police-public partnerships in fighting crime. I'm your host, Tendeka Dandarazi. It's good to have you along. As the country continues to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, the Zimbabwe Republic Police is calling for strict adherence to the national lockdown regulations put in place by the government. The Zimbabwe Republic Police will continue to engage members of the public for collective responsibility in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. Moving on, CID Marondera has arrested a nurse from Marondera Provincial Hospital for fraudulently selling COVID-19 vaccination certificates to members of the public who would then purport to have been vaccinated.
We have received reports in Mashonaland in this province of health workers that are alleged to be issuing out fake COVID-19 certificates. And one incident is actually being investigated by the police at one of our local hospitals. We are urging our health workers to desist from such behaviors because the vaccines and the COVID-19 certificates are treated as security items which we should value, and they will also assist us in this fight against COVID-19 so that we curb the spread of the disease and the fatalities that we have been experiencing.
As CID Marondera, we recently received a tip-off to the fact that there were some nurses at Marondera General Hospital who were selling COVID vaccination cards to unvaccinated people to purport as if they were vaccinated, yet they were not. Acting on the information, I deployed personnel at Marondera Hospital and we managed to arrest Kenneth Kuneka, a registered general nurse aged 35 at Marondera Hospital. We managed to recover 4 temporary COVID vaccination cards from the people he had sold the cards. Upon interviewing the holders of the cards, they confessed that they bought the cards from Kenneth Kuneka for $20 United States dollars each, yet they were not vaccinated. Upon searching his house, we recovered an assortment of drugs and pharmaceutical equipment with a street value of 1,000 United States dollars. We took the accused person to court where he was remanded out of custody on 30,000 RTGS bail. Considering the gravity of this pandemic, let's take the government initiative of vaccination with the seriousness it deserves. The police is firm on the ground, and whoever will be found on the wrong side will be brought to book.
In another story, ZRP Karoi Eben has arrested a man for unlawful entry and theft cases and recovered property worth thousands of dollars. Let us hear more.
We had a series of unlawful entry and theft cases where criminals would target houses that would be left unattended. They enter and store various household properties. One of the criminals is Bernard Due. We managed to arrest him. After arresting him, we interviewed him. From that interview, that's where he led us to recover of this property which is behind me. Some of the property was identified by the complainants. So each member of the public, whenever they acquire the properties, they must record serial numbers for each identification of the property. The accused was sent to court where he was remanded in custody, awaiting trial.
We also caught up with some complainants whose property was recovered.
It was the first occasion. Ndopa akapinamba akaba 42-inch plasma TV, akaba gas tank, akaba ne hembe nema blankets. Then on the second occasion, futhi ndisipo pamba ndafamba futhi. Ndopa akapinda akaba ma plates, akaba ne hembe dzemwana, mamuna akanga ne hembe dzemwana nedzangu nedzamai wacho. ndivazodzoka futi on third occasion ndokuzopedza zvinhu zvakasara maplates nemapoto nehembe dzimwe nebhutsu zvezvokumba makangosara muri empty mablankets ese muspain nekubedroom kwakusisina. So ndakanga ndikaripota musi wa 22 January pakatanga kuba ndiva ndauya futi ndichiripota on 2nd then on 3rd then mapurisa aingoramba achingoita investigation then ndakazonge ndiri murengo ndakagara kuchikango ndopa ndakaona munhu achidarika akapfeka bhutsu dzangu ndanamufananidza ndobva ndamutora mhana naye polisi ndibva yati saka ndikumba kwake tinocheka kuti tingawane zvimwe zvinhu zvako here ndibva polisi yandibatsira tikaenda kumba kwake tikanoona kwaane tv nedzimwe 2 pairs dzebhutsu then tabva ipapo akabva ati aitengesera zvinhu zvacho kunozi kungwarati farm takabva tauya futi ndokuenda naye kungwarati ikoko ndibva ndanowana imwe pay bhutsu ndoya ndakawanda pazvinhu zvese zvanga akabanda chimwe chandakazowana
takabirwa tv paikabiwa takauya tikazoripota kuti tabirwa tv vakazvinyora pasi and amene kwaakazoba futi chibva azowanikwa papawanikwa netv yeye paazotaura kuti ndakaiba kwakati vauya mapurisa kumba vasvika vatitora vauya vatiratidza kuti ndiyo tv here yakabiwa ndikati exactly ndiyo tv ndandatokanganwa nezvayo for 3 years but ndakaiwana izvi zvinhu itori mumba yatikutoona asi dai ndisina kuuya kuzoripota dai tisina kumboiwana saka ndinotenda nezvekuita mapurisa ari kushanda basa ravo.
On that note, we take a short break. Join us shortly. Welcome to the second segment of Crimewatch. Police has arrested a man for producing and selling illicit liquor at his house in Westville, Kadoma. Crimewatch visited Kadoma and spoke to the police officer who effected the arrest.
As Kadoma Central, we received information from a reliable source to the effect that an accused person was brewing, storing and selling illicit beers at his place of residence. Upon reacting to that information, we proceeded at house number 2152, Baobab Street, Westview, Kadoma, where Tawanda Rashirai, a male adult aged 42, was arrested. Upon his arrest, searches were made and we managed to seize 202 cases of 30 by 250 mules of beers which was labeled differently. Saints brand, 2 keys whisk, to mention but just a few. Also 50 liters of ethanol concentrate was seized. New 250 ml bottles and bottle tops were also seized. Meanwhile, the accused person was taken to Kadoma Magistrate Court where he was remanded out of custody. He is facing charges under Harmful Substance Act, Chapter 9.10.
Meanwhile, police in Chisumbanje has accounted for 3 people for stock theft. The arrest of the 3 led to the recovery of 6 cattle.
Recently, Chisumbanje police arrested 3 cattle rustlers, namely Pedzai Mshanga, aged 39, Tedias Mshanga, aged 23, and Muchacha Mulambo, aged 24, all of Garawa village, Chief Garawa in Chipinge. The 3 had stolen 6 head of cattle in Chitepo A village, Chisumbanje. All the cattle were recovered, tied along Save River, with the criminals heading them as police followed their spoor from the crow. The accused appeared at Chipinge Magistrates Court facing stock theft charges, where they were remanded in custody pending trial. In a related case, Chisumbanje police arrested Luckman Muyambo for stock theft involving donkeys. The donkeys were stolen from 4 complainants in Mabeye border village, Chipinge. 7 donkeys were recovered by police upon found tied at accused's homestead in Rimai village. The remainder of donkeys were recovered on indications made by the accused to where he had sold them. The total value of the stolen donkeys is $1,500 United States dollars, and all were recovered. The accused also confessed to have stolen 2 motorbikes in Chisumbanje and led to their recovery where he had sold them. The accused appeared at Chipinge Magistrates Court facing stock theft charges and the theft of motorbikes, and was remanded in custody for trial. As the ZRP, we cherish the support we get from our valuable citizens.
Still in Manicaland, ZRP Mutare is leaving no stone unturned in fighting smuggling activities along the Mozambican border. Recently, they seized over 400 bales of second-hand clothes.
Recently, we managed to intercept 2 trucks which were fully loaded with the bales of second-hand clothes, totaling 418. These bales of second-hand clothes were taken to Zimras as well as the 2 vehicles. I would like to thank members of the public for the information that they are giving to the police, which has managed to have us make quite a reasonable number of arrests as well as recoveries. I would like to warn those who may want to take part in smuggling that smuggling is a serious offense, which may result in them being arrested.
On a sad note, the Zimbabwe Republic Police confirms the death of 7 people in a fatal accident which occurred on the 29th of August 2021 at around 1800 hours in Wonde Valley, where the driver failed to negotiate a curve and lost control of the vehicle. The vehicle veered off the road, overturned once and landed on its side. The vehicle had 23 passengers and 65 bags of bananas. 13 people were seriously injured, while 7 died on the spot. The bodies have since been identified by their next of kin. The Zimbabwe Republic Police discourages motorists from mixing passengers and farm produce. Above all, farmers are urged to plan journeys and ensure safety on the roads. It is said that some drivers are speeding in situations which endanger lives on the roads. On this week's road safety issues, let us join our reporter Elliot Kudzai-Ganyani and the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe.
Thank you very much, Tendekai. In our previous episode on road safety issues, we joined the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe at Kona Kickman and Monaville in Belvedere, Harare, where we witnessed dangerous and shocking driving conduct. Some motorists driving against red lights. Once again, we visited a number of traffic light controlled intersections in Harare to check on compliance. Of course, Mr. Ernest Mchena, who is the Acting Director of Operations, Research and Marketing in the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe, was with us.
The Traffic Safety Council would like to commend the ZRP and other local authorities who have adopted the use of technology in identifying traffic offences and violations. We decided to join Crimewatch to visit some of the intersections where such technology has been erected and where the use of handheld cameras is being employed. We would like to appeal to motorists to ensure that they comply with road rules and regulations irrespective of the presence of static cameras or handheld cameras. Traffic rules and regulations have got a safety objective, and entering a red traffic light is a serious offense which can lead to loss of life or limb in the event of an accident. We would like to appeal to all authorities to ensure that they employ such a technique, as we have observed that there are no running battles between law enforcers and lawbreakers, and this doesn't threaten safety of any other road user who may not be involved in the violations. We have also received reports of people who are going through red lights on Luveve Road near Ntumbane Complex, and we would like to warn such people that the long arm of the law will catch up with them. We would also like to inform the motoring public that such use of technology is not only limited to traffic lights. Technology can be used to identify other forms of traffic violations and traffic offenses,
such as using a cell phone while one is driving, remaining stationary in a dangerous position, or just acting in a dangerous manner. During this tour, we have observed that there are some people who illegally change lanes at intersections, and that is against the law. We have also observed that there are also some drivers who cross the transverse lines and thereby violating the law, as those transverse lines are there to demarcate where pedestrians can create a crossing path and cross the road safely. It is against this background of use of technology in identifying traffic offences and leaving the offender to go and then inviting them to face the charges that we are now appealing once again to owners of motor vehicles to ensure that you change ownership of a sold vehicle within 14 days of the sale. The provisions of the Vehicle Registration and Licensing Act makes it an offence to fail to change ownership of a vehicle within 14 days of a sale. We would also like to appeal to previous owners to, as required by the law, inform Central Vehicle Registry that they have sold a vehicle to so and so. In that way, it will be very easy to identify the owner of the vehicle. The owner of the vehicle may not necessarily be the traffic offender, but it is the duty of that owner to inform the authorities or the police that the vehicle was being driven by so and so at that particular time.
The message is categorically stated: stick to road rules and regulations to guard against unnecessary brushes with law enforcers. From that story, rejoin Tendekai Dandaratsi in the third and final segment.
Welcome to the third and final segment of Crimewatch. During this COVID-19 pandemic, the ZRP appreciates the assistance rendered by members of the public and other organizations in fighting crime by equipping the ZRP with different resources. Recently, the Golden Knot group of companies donated an oxygen concentrator to the ZRP at an event held at ZRP Mukushi camp.
We are into partnership with the police. And we felt it very important or necessary in this season during the COVID pandemic that we remember and partner with our clients through the donation of an oxygen concentrator so that we also ensure the safety of our clients in this season. I would really want to encourage the corporate world to remember their part in as far as corporate social responsibility is concerned. The police are frontliners, and there's a lot of exposure that you find with the police as they go out to roadblocks and reach out really to the community in this season. So we need to remember such frontliners to sow back into them.
As the Zimbabwe Public Police Health Service Directorate, we would like to thank Golden Knot Management on giving us this gesture, and this it will go a long way to save our nation. The oxygen concentrator will go a long way in trying to save our sick members from COVID. So meanwhile, the concentrator will be used within the police institutes, that is the admitting hospital or any other place that might be found with to admit such a client. The gesture shown by Golden Knot Management is so much important, and we are also appealing to other organizations such that they can come in with their donations to save the organization or the Zimbabwe Public Police. The WHO guidelines still need to be looked into seriously. We're looking into the social or physical distancing, masking up, as well as sanitization. It goes a long way in that people will never be in a position of contracting the COVID-19 from the bystander or anyone else who is not treated or vaccinated. So I'm encouraging everyone to be masked up as well as to get vaccinated.
In a similar gesture, Posme Investments donated sewing equipment to the ZRP, which will be used amongst other things to make uniforms for police officers.
What pushed us to donate to the police force is the bond that we have with the police force as our business partners. They mean a lot to us. Without the police, the nation will not be stable.
We would like to thank Posme Enterprises for their kind gesture. We are generally receiving a lot of cooperation in terms of donation from members of the public. The police and the public are like fish and water in terms of their relationship, in that we as the fish cannot survive without water, so we need the community for us to survive.
Before we come to the end of this week's episode, here are some of the people on the police wanted list. Philip Tishaona Kavukatema, whose last known address is not known, is wanted by the Zimbabwe Republic Police for murdering a police officer. Emmanuel Adam Puti, aged 37 years, of Nswasi village, Chief Mabena, is wanted by Kulumani Police for murder. Lastly, Takuzwa Kamashu, aged 18 years, whose last known address is house number 11, Bere Road, Mufakose, Harare, is wanted by Marimba Police Station for 4 counts of theft and physical abuse. Anyone with information that may help us in the location of these people can contact any nearest police station or contact us on the following details. Our National Complaints Desk number is 0242 703 631. Visit our website www.zrp.gov.zw. Email us on feedback@zrp.gov.zw. Alternatively, you can link with us on our Twitter handle @PoliceZimbabwe or like us on our Facebook page, Zimbabwe Republic Police. Be reminded that all Crimewatch episodes are accessible on our YouTube channel, Zimbabwe Republic Police. It has been a pleasure having you along. From myself and the crew behind the scenes, pleasant viewing.